We all know what we need to do, right? In fact, tell me this, you don't know you have to eat more vegetables? You know that. Do you not know you have to sleep more? Do you not know you have to exercise? Do I have to come here and tell you that again? Your mom told you that when you were 3 years old, eat more vegetables, right? Yeah, so you already know what you need to do. But the problem is you're not able to do it, right? It's not your fault, of course. We live in a world which is filled with convenience, right? You can place an order on Swiggy right now, and before I'm done talking, you'll get it right here, okay? It's an amazing time to be alive. Wouldn't you agree? This is exactly what we wanted. We wanted convenience, and we have that, right? So, we know what to do. We don't know how to do it, and we don't really know why we should do it, okay? So, let me come back to my first question. What do you really want? Let's go. Implementation, okay. Templates, okay. Accountability, all right. Consistency, yes, thank you. Menopause specific exercises, all right. Balance, okay. Say it again. Clarity, yes, definitely, I love clarity, right? But in a nutshell, if you put all this together, you want one of these things. Yeah? Everyone wants this. You want to get fitter, you want to lose weight, you want to improve your health. Remember, the key two letters in the first two words is the last three words, I guess, right? T-E-R, E-R. Fitter. You don't want to become the fittest person there. You just want to be better than what you are right now, right? And you want to improve your health, right? And you want to lose weight. It's not like you want to be, size 0. That's not what we're talking about. You want improvement. That's what we're all talking about here, okay? Yeah, I think you'll all agree. Now, for all of this, you need to do one specific thing. One thing, all right? Now, obviously, individually, how you do these things will change, but what is that one specific thing? And that is, you need to focus on what you can control, not on what you cannot control. Okay? There are many, many things that you have to do. Some of these things are under your control. Some of these things, well, they're not under your control. For example, genetics, not under your control. Of course, you'll all agree. Okay? Exercise, under your control. Yes, you would agree. But not just that. Life is hard. Okay? Life is hard. We all have a lot of things to do. Not everything is under our control. It would be amazing if we can all sleep 8 hours beautifully every night. But is that really under your control? How many of you have kids here? Show of hands. Definitely not under your control. Not under mine, right? Yeah. How many of you jobs here? It's 11:30 on a Thursday, just so you guys know. Obviously, you work late. You have to travel. You have a lot of work to do. How many of you have parents or aging adults you have to take care of? Right? It's crazy. It's hard. It's not easy, right? And the greatest hurdle, how many of you have Netflix and Swiggy? You do. You can't help it. You need it. You can't live without it, right? So the point is, there are quite a few things you can control, but there are a lot of things that you can't control. But at any point of time, life is a balance between the things that you can control and you can't control, all right? So if you want to get fitter, if you want to get healthier, if you want to be better, you need to remember that you have to only focus on the things that you can control, right? And if you get into Instagram, there are going to be a million things that you have to do. You can't do all those things, I get it, right? There's always FOMO. But if you can just focus on the things that you can control, results are inevitable, right? Progress is inevitable. Now, what are the things that you can control? Effort, not results, okay? Let's be very, very, very clear about it. Your efforts are under your control. Your results are not. Every body is different and everybody is different, yes? Some of us lose weight faster. Some of us get fitter faster. Some of us are not able to. Some of us are people who can build a lot of muscle, lose weight easily. Some of us are women. It's just much harder, isn't it? Right? I mean, life is so much harder in so many different ways. We'll talk about it more later, but it's not easy. You think you have everything under control. You think, if I did A, B, C, D, E, my results will be exactly that, but no. Results not under your control. But If you can focus on your effort, progress is guaranteed. Exactly what that progress is not under your control. So when you're setting a goal for yourself, you need to remember to not set a goal that is results-based. I want to lose 10 kilos in 3 months. It's a random goal. Where did 10 come from? Where did 3 come from? Right? Do you know your body is capable of doing that? Do you know if you are capable of putting in the effort? You don't know. So the goals that you need to set are going to be based on efforts. My goal is I will exercise 4 days a week, and I will sleep 7 hours a night, and I will eat mindfully. That's a goal that you can control, not the results. So as long as you are able to put in the effort that you say you will, you have already won. The results don't matter. Does that make sense? Yes. Yeah? Excellent. So then, we're talking about effort and results. You have to remember one more thing. In order to progress, you have to change your lifestyle. Yes, we spoke about you already know what you have to do, but you're not sure about how to do it or why to do it, right? This is about the how. Yeah? So, in order to progress, you absolutely need to change your lifestyle. This involves sleep, stress, movement, nutrition. All of that has to be changed. And you already know this, but it's not easy, right? If I said, okay guys, here's what you need to do. Here are 10 things you need to do today. Will you go home and start doing it? Right? If you did, we are all out of a job, technically, right? That's what we're trying to help you do, inspire you to take control. But it's not easy. Why? Because in order to change your lifestyle, you need to change your habits. And we all have habits. Good habits, bad habits, neutral habits, whatever it is, right? We all thrive based on our habits. Now think about this person, okay? Let's say this person is hungry at 5 o'clock in the evening. They want to have a snack. They go and reach out and, I don't know, have leftover vegetables from lunch. Why do you think they do that? They're not forcing that. It's a habit to eat more vegetables, right? And you have habits too. Yes? Yes, yes. Very simple way of looking at it is, everyone in the morning, you brush your teeth, right? Please say yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, cool. So, how did that happen? It's not like you're waking up every morning thinking, I can't wait to go brush my teeth. You're not thinking at night when I go, oh, I'm going to use this toothpaste tomorrow. How cool is that going to be? I'm so motivated. No, you're not. You just wake up and you do it. Why? Because you built a habit. When you were little, you didn't want to do it. But then you did it over and over and over again. You got to a point where you're so used to it now. In fact, if you wake up in the morning and eat something without brushing your teeth, it feels weird, right? It's a habit. So, if you want to be someone who sleeps early, it has to become a habit. If you're someone who wants to be consistent with exercise, it has to be a habit. You have to change your habits. But again, Raj, I already know all of this. I'm not able to change my habits. I even have bought the Tiny Habits book. I still can't change, right? Because that's what we do, right? We buy books, don't really read them, but we expect them to change, right? Because it's so hard. How do you change habits? There is a way to do it, and that is, you need to change your mindset. Okay? What is mindset? Mindset is very simple, right? It's just the way you think about things, the way you perceive things. That's your mindset. Now, when I say fitness, what is it that shows up in your head? What kind of images and clips show up in your head? We think of intense, exciting, flashy things, right? Not necessarily big muscle bodybuilders, but then people who are athletic, fit, that's what we think. That's the mindset, right? Intensity, sweat, effort, discomfort, pushing ourselves, right? That's what we think when we have to think about getting fitter, losing weight, right? But that's our mindset. But when your mindset is set like that, it's very hard for you to break it because in your head you're thinking, I have to work really hard to see progress. Everyone on Instagram, somehow they look all amazing, right? And secondly, everyone is waking up at 5 o'clock and doing a million things in the morning before you even figure out what is going on, right? It feels like you're never putting in enough. It feels like intensity is the key. And that's the wrong mindset because for you to be able to change has to be easy enough for you to do. Okay? Now, let's take an example. Now, I'm someone who's very consistent with exercise, okay? Just with exercise. Now, let's say, I don't know, for whatever reason, from tomorrow, we all hear that everyone has to play the guitar. It's good for your health, you have to do it. Okay? Now, I have to do it too, right? I'm someone who's consistent with exercise, but I'm not consistent with guitar. Now, I have to add something new to my world. How am I going to do it? Where am I going to find time from? I don't even like doing it, right? But I have to patiently sit and learn. I have to make compromises. It's so hard, right? This is how it is for someone who doesn't have an exercise habit to add exercise in. It's not easy at all. And you know why? Because you're thinking the only way to approach fitness is go to the gym 4 days a week, which means including commute, bathing, whatever it is, 6 hours gone. And I have to go and push myself hard. I should hardly eat any food, right? So that's how we are thinking. And that is driving us away from making sustainable long-term change. Right? And that's why beginning of every year, or when someone calls us fat, we're like, you know what, from tomorrow, I'm just not going to eat any sugar. Even if I have a cough, I won't drink cough syrup. Right? We tend to go to those extremes. Right? But the mindset change that you need is this. Small changes can lead to big results. Okay? Let's take a couple of minutes. Let's take a couple of minutes here. Okay? Please understand this. Everything in the universe is built on this one principle. Everything. Evolution. Everything is built on this. Okay? The concept of accumulation and compounding. If you understand finance better, you know how the stock market works. Okay? It's all about compounding. And for compounding, you don't need big, intense changes done infrequently. You want to make small changes consistently over a period of time. Okay? Now let me ask you this question. Any of you here who's gained weight, say about, I didn't want to gain weight, but I gained about 5 to 10 kilos, something like that? Yeah. So how did you gain this weight? Think about it. Did you just overnight, just next day you woke up and like you're 5 kilos heavier? No. It happened how? Slowly, gradually, even without your own knowledge, right? Because if you added 10 grams of weight per day, in a year you'll add 3.5 kilos. In 3 years you'll add 10 kilos. You know what 10 grams is? You don't know. I don't know. It's so small. You don't even care about it. But small things can add up. And we understand this in so many other parts of life. Right? We talk about little drops form an ocean, you know, all these amazing lines. But in reality, the positives, negatives, everything follow the same principle. Simple, tiny changes, when done over a period of time, have significant results. Again, negative or positive. Yeah? So, what I want you to think about today is, can you make small changes in your life? Because go back to the first slide. What do you really want? You want to be fitter. You want to be healthier. Right? You want to look, feel, function better. That's what you want. Okay? You don't want crazy weight loss. You don't want to, walk around with a six-pack and giant, bulging biceps every time. That's not what you want. What you want is to be a better version of yourself. For that, are you willing to make small changes?